Alright, so I have my water and my honey. I'm just going to mix it up a little bit here. Get it all off of those little edges there and that's stuck. And I'm going to take my yeast, my 1 tablespoon of it. And you can already see how it kind of starts to blend a little bit there and bubble a little bit, but just stir it real quick. And then you can see, once it starts settling, you'll be able to see some of the froth start to happen, which is what I like. It'll take these little chunks and it'll like burp almost. So it's kind of fun to watch yeast if you've never done it before. Anyway, I'm going to let this sit here for about 10 minutes or so and get my dry mix together so I can put it in here and let that sit for an hour. Alright, so my yeast is all foamy and I just put in my salt and olive oil and half a cup of flour. I'll put in another half of flour right now. And you see that I'm not using my mixer yet to mix anything. I want to have a little base. The dough hook is not really going to be the best mixer right off in the beginning. You want to have a little substance before you turn it on. Alright, so now I'm putting in another half a cup, and that's going to give us 1.5 cups now worth of flour. You see how it's still really wet and idle. Oh, but see now you see this starting to get into thicker batter here. I'm going to take my whisk out. I am done with that. And I'm going to put this down, lock it into place, turn it on. I'm going to get my second cup's worth with another half cup. And I do it while it's moving because I just do. And you just keep adding it all up, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's all mixed up in the right consistency. I'm at 3 cups now worth of flour, and you see that it's kind of becoming a dough ball, and I'm going to stop putting in flour at this point just to see how it mixes. And I'm going to turn up the speed here, just really smack it around a little bit. And for those of you kneading it, I know you're not going to work this fast, but you're going to just take your time and work probably about 10 minutes worth of kneading to get it really mixed up good. I'm going to stop that here for a second. I'm going to lift it up and see how it's still kind of wet here on this. I am going to, this is too loose, so I'm going to put in the other half cup of flour and then keep going. And then it should be good to go. Okay. See how it just fell off cleanly here? And I'm touching this, but it's not too sticky. I'm going to take my dough hook off. I'm going to just squish it around here, make sure there's not any little bits at the bottom. And then take it out for just a second. I'm going to put in some butter. I'm going to get some butter all around here for a second to grease it. I'm going to take my ball, put it in, squish it around, roll it around a little. And then I'm going to put some saran wrap on top of it. See how low it is right here? I'll put some saran wrap on top of it and set it on top of the stove for at least an hour to rise. Okay, so my dough has risen. I let it go a little over an hour because I was eating lunch and people were in the kitchen and I didn't want to deal with that. So here it is. It's 2 times bigger than it was when I put it in this bowl. This is the mat that I use, and they're really bendy and they're wonderful. And I just spread a little whole wheat flour on here just to help me with my first rollout. So I'm going to take the saran wrap off here. And watch this. This is when I say pour it out, I'm serious. So you pour out the dough, and look at how wonderful it does that. And when I touch it, I can feel some of the butter still on it, and that's wonderful. And I'm just gonna flip it here, and I'm gonna start kneading it. You don't have to do anything really too crazy with it here, but if you can see, I've got it here this long. It's not even perfect. I'm going to take it, I'm going to pinch it in half and make it into 2 separate rounds. Right, there's one, and here is my second one. Now I'm going to move this here, and you're going to see how I'm going to make them into balls and how I'm going to do this. I'm going to put one here right now. I'm going to take one of these halves, and I'm going to make this one into maybe 6 pizza crusts, maybe, I think, yeah, it's 6. So I'm going to squeeze it here. You know, I think I can get 4 out of this one. So I'm going to take it and pinch off 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this ball's a little lower, so I'm going to take a couple pinches from here, and it's okay to take some pinches. It's not even a big deal. And this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take each of these, roll it real quick, smack it around a little bit, and then I'm going to make it into a ball. I'm just going to set it here on my parchment. I'm going to do the same with all of these. Make it into a ball that fits about this big in my hand, okay? Put it here on my parchment. I think I'm going to get altogether 8 pizza doughs out of this, which is awesome. We are going out of town this weekend, and our daughter's staying home, so this will be perfect because she's asked if I would make some extra pizza crust for her to make for herself while we're gone. And that's kind of the beauty in these. Everyone can kind of make them. They're super easy. I've shown them how to roll them all out and make their own pizza crusts. And so it's wonderful for my family. It's a fun treat. Alright, I got the second dough all rolled up. Again, hand-sized. Now I have big hands. I have long fingers. So if you have littler hands, you know, you might want to make them a little smaller or a little bigger. Just depending on how much. Now these are all going to be individual pizzas, but you can roll them out and make them into pretty good sizes. Way bigger than those little Pizza Hut individuals. Alright, so here's all the balls. I'm going to take them and spread them out. And now I'm going to sit them out here on this warm oven. And I'm going to get the saran wrap. I'm going to just cover them here lightly. And there we go. So you see what these all look like right now? And when we come back in 40 minutes, they're going to be a lot bigger. Now look how big these guys are. This has been just about an hour of them sitting here, probably about 45 minutes, and they are twice the size that they were when I made them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to keep 4 out, and then I'm going to package the other 4 up. Right, so remember how I've told you before I'm not a fancy gal. I ran out of quart-sized Ziploc bags, so this is what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to take these 4 that we're going to store for later use. I'm going to smash them down just a little bit. And I'm going to take a little butter. I'm going to put it in the bottom of this container here. And I'm going to take my pizza dough. I'm going to spread it around and slide it. Rub it in there good. And this will be so good when we're ready to eat it. Then I'm going to do that with these others here. I'm going to take some paper and I'm going to cut it, put it down on top of this one, because these are not going to last more than a week in this house. So I don't need to freeze it or do anything fancy with it. But see how nice they just move? Now imagine when we roll it out, I roll it out to probably about 3 or 4 times this size. And when you look at it, it's this thin. It's not really less than about half the size of my finger. And I get the rolling pin out, and I'll show you that in the next little video here. So I'm going to just stack these up. Again, get some butter. I'll just put it directly on here this time. Put it in here. There's the butter. Do it again, get another piece of paper, put it down, and you see how this goes. Super complex, right? Look at how nice these go, and they smell fantastic. So they're really pliable and bendy. Get my butter. Put them in, butter side down, butter in. Again, I'm doing this all one-handed, so imagine what you could do with 2. Alright. Now if you put them onto the oven too long, I like to slide these off the oven after about 20 minutes because they're already warm enough and then they'll cool. You don't want them to get crusty because then they're cooking a little bit, so you don't want them too hot. Get my butter, and you guys see, and then I'm going to put the lid on, put them in the fridge for another day, and I'll store it up there for up to a week if I need to. But again, they probably won't make it through the weekend. Again, close this, put the lid on, and voila, done. Here is my pizza crust, and it's rolled out, and you can see it's totally not circular, but it is thin. It's pliable. I have nothing here on the base. This is Sean's pizza here that he's made, and he's got it all over the place underneath that. And anyway, but you can see how it's paper thin, and it's going to be perfect. It's not going to burn. How good is it, honey?
It's so good. It turns out really, really crispy.
Plain on my baking stone. So this is it. I'm going to just layer it up, and I'll show you a picture of what it looks like before I put it in the oven and when it comes out. This is my pizza, and I've decided to make a Margherita pizza. So that is my homemade pizza sauce, and it's basically just tomato paste mixed with some olive oil, fresh garlic, and Italian seasoning mixed up together, and that is my special pizza sauce. Added a little bit of shredded mozzarella cheese to the bottom, then added some sliced up tomatoes, then some basil, and then sprinkled the top with some fresh shredded Parmesan cheese, and put that in the oven at 425. It'll probably take about 10-15 minutes max, depending on how crisp I want it all. So there we are.